What is up, everybody? I'm Skratch. Welcome to the channel. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Some of you guys probably saw a video that I posted a couple of days ago, but then the video disappeared. It was like hocus pocus, abracadabra, unleashed the video. That's because we had an embargo and I was not aware of it. But basically, I was actually putting a promo code, head over to the inbox, and this message was there. And I was like, okay, maybe everybody got it. So I clicked on it. And then I just went with the flow. And then I didn't realize, but it was actually under an embargo, so I actually removed the video. But here we go, Series Tour, guys. This is a tease of the new content coming to Raid Shadow Legends, and I'm not sure how many other creators actually received this, how many got it, but I'm looking forward to check after the embargo is lifted to see what we have available from the other creators. If we have anything, I would assume we do. Basically, Series Tour. Greetings, Skratch. Strange tidings come from the free series of Sintranos. So we're gonna have a new series called Sintranos. How many series we even have in Raid? Like, I feel it's just one, right? We're gonna check that on the map in a second. It is said that monsters most fall stalk the streets beneath the baleful light of a lunar eclipse, and treasures beyond reckoning await adventurers who are brave enough to claim them. So it's said that monsters most fall stalk the streets beneath the baleful light of a lunar eclipse. So, monsters in the streets of the city, lunar eclipse, whatever that means. I'm not getting the part with the lunar eclipse. Look, I'm not a lore person whatsoever. Maybe they are mentioning something about the city of Sintranos in some lore for some heroes or anything like that. If they do, let me know in the comments down below. Some of you guys I know love to check the lore out. You are among the few chosen by fate to get a glimpse of the future, so hearken to the message and learn what you can of the dangers that awaits you. Share this newfound knowledge with your subscribers as well, for time is running short and the gates of Sintranos will swing open soon. Now, I'll be honest, I really expected them to release a What's Next in Raid video this week, but it seems like we will get it next week instead, so definitely stay tuned for it. But let's actually check out what we have here in terms of a message. Let's get the headphones on and check what we have here.
Blanketed in an eerie glow and bustling with gangs of demented minions, Dead Rise is the home of Sintranos' killer nightlife. Fortune favors the bold, and you're bound to find some true treasures if you delve deep into this district's haunted streets.
Okay, so Dead Rise is a district in the city. So it's kind of like the hood, you know? And tons of monsters to defeat in there. I want to show you some content after, because I'm very curious if it will be anything to do with that. I hope not, but we're about to find out, I guess. Now let's see what else we have to say in here.
While wandering around, don't neglect the special quests you would have received upon entering Sintranos. Completing them may yield something truly unexpected. Now,
so we're going to have new quests once we enter the city, guys, and that makes it sound like it might be something like open world, guys. Open world sort of content. At least that's kind of like what it gives me the vibe. The city, the districts, the way you enter the city, the quests, monsters just around, you know. It definitely feels like it's some sort of a maze, some sort of an open world scenario where we're defeating different monsters, we're completing different quests, and it's actually pretty interesting. One thing that I quickly want to point out before we move over to that part is that right here, if we're gonna head all the way over to dungeons, for example, you'll see that we do have a city, and that is the city of Irat, right? But nothing else that mentions any series whatsoever. They're just different areas, location, but not city of something. So we do have one city that does have quite a bit of content. Will it be something similar with these? Or will it be something completely different? Now, I do not think we're going to get another tower. We have the Doom Tower. It makes no sense from a game developing perspective to bring in another tower. Like what, Tower 1 and Tower 2? Is nothing new there, no innovation. So I feel like it's going to be something completely different. And by the looks of it, it sounds like completely the opposite of a tower. In the underground, in there, like all something that's not going to be rising up like a tower. At least that's kind of like the vibe that I'm getting from the whole message, you know?
despite the aforementioned baleful glow and powerful sense of dread, Dead Rise still remains one of the more high-class districts of Sintranos. And that's reflected in the types of horrors you'll encounter walking through its snaking back streets.
You see, walking through its sneaky back streets or whatever he said there, and this is one of the higher districts. So basically, we're gonna have multiple districts. That's why it really feels to me like it's some sort of open world of something. I don't know.
Any enemies you defeat here drop better loot than the ruffians you can find in Cobble Market.
So Cobble Market being another area. Any enemies you defeat in that rise drop better loot than the other ones, you know? So it's definitely, I think it's definitely going to be something like that.
And the apex predators that rule this region are magical reflections of some of Talaria's toughest bosses. So,
okay, so basically, we're going to get the bosses from Raid. Most of the bosses from Raid, the Talaria's toughest bosses, being reflected there. So it's almost like a reflection of the entire content from here, moving to the other side. I have a feeling that it's going to be like a flipped world, you know? So this is like the top of the world, then you're going to have like the underground of the world, you know? But then the lunar eclipse doesn't make that much sense unless it's dark in there. And that's kind of like what there is, more like a metaphor, having the lunar eclipse, you know? My God, I'm going so deep in here, guys. So deep.
So pack your best gear. Luckily, how you take in the sights of Deadrise is entirely up to you. Take on as many or as few challenges as you like. It's your trip, and any rewards you pick up won't be good if you're dead.
So you can pick as many challenges basically as you want to do and collect as much loot as you want to do. If that doesn't sound like some sort of open world system, I don't know. Maybe it's not going to be like what we imagine in the regular MMOs, guys. I'm not really necessarily expecting the same thing, but I'm expecting the same vibe in terms of rewards, content, and stuff, you know? So maybe not drag a character and like this on the map, you know?
Now, let's turn our sights to the final leg of our Cursed City walking tour. Deep breaths, everyone. It's a long and perilous track. Blanketed in...
Okay. That's a lot of stuff to digest, and I feel like we just don't have that much information all around to be able to kind of like go into it, but I quickly want to show you this. So Chosen made a video not a long time ago on something like this. So how you may notice is Elhain killing waves of enemies, okay? Tons of different enemies. Now, I'm not expecting to see a thing like defeat waves sort of thing like we have right here, because it doesn't really make that much sense, honestly. And in a way, it's kind of like an open world, looking at it, you know? I think this is just like a bait for advertisement. Like, they tend to do this a lot, you know? So I wouldn't be surprised if it's that. Now, I don't think I would like to see something that looks like that in Raid. It just doesn't fit. It looks awful in terms of how you're moving your character and running around through the enemies. So I think it's just some fake advertisement thing to try and drag different sort of players to it. But you see, at the end right here, monsters killed, you survive this long, plus is in portrait mode rather than landscape. But this thing at the end seems to look very real compared to how the game looks like. So who knows? Who knows what to expect? I don't think it's gonna be a tower. I don't think it's gonna be another tower. I feel like it's gonna be something with the underworld, a reflection of bosses. So we're gonna get a lot of these bosses in there. Who knows? I'm not necessarily saying that the Fire Knight, but we might get the Keep bosses or other bosses that are pretty underwhelming at the moment. They might get modified buff, different skills, etc. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. And as soon as I'm going to close this down, I'm going to wait for that embargo and see what the other creators posted. You know, like, do we have anything juicy in there to kind of like give us more ideas of what to expect? But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. As usual, much love. Appreciate every single one of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.